Hello, friends. Happy Monday. Hi, Fuzzy Turnip. How's it going? I hope everyone had a good weekend and hopefully you have a good start to the week as well. I'm here to help with that. We'll do some relaxing art and just kind of chat and catch up and start the week off on a gentle and not intense way because it's summer. It's depending on where you are, of course. But it's nice here in the Vancouver area. It's warm. It's going to be hot today and for the next couple days, I think, before we sort of dive into rainy weather again. So I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm sending you good weather vibes as well, wherever you are. Hi, Fountain Pen News. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, happy time zone, and yeah, happy Monday. It's been a week and a half, I think, since the last time I streamed, so I'm trying to get into routine and just, how things sort of work for me. So yeah, it might be a little chaotic and yeah, just all over the place, but we'll get through it. And it will be a short stream today because my kids, this is their last week of school. And so Wednesday, they have a half day. And then they're home for the summer for the next 2 months. So it'll be fun, but it'll be also very chaotic and exhausting and all the things. So while I'm looking forward to that, also I know it'll change up our routine. It'll change up just how much time I get to myself to stream and just do other things. And yeah, so that will impact my streaming schedule. But I will try to do it once a week at least because I miss you, friends. And I love when we get to hang out and just do art and talk about stationery and all the fun things. Suki, how's it going, friend? How has your weekend been? And all of last week? Yeah, let me know if you have any new acquisitions that you're really enjoying or happy about, or any other stationery in general. But yeah, I spent since Friday when we came back, I spent 8 days in Toronto, just visiting family. I used to live in Toronto for a long time, so, it's like going back home, my second home anyways. And visiting friends, family, getting to go stationery shopping because if you've never been to Toronto and you love stationery, go. Definitely if you are, in that area, there's so many shops to choose from and visit and they're all so good. So I did get to do that, which I'm really, really happy about. Otherwise, I was really, really busy. Just trying to do all the things within a week and a week and a day. So but yeah, it was good. So I wanted to share quickly the things that I picked up. I didn't do a lot of shopping, meaning I visited these shops and I browsed, but I didn't pick up a lot of things. I didn't want to lug a lot of things back in my luggage. But I did pick up a few things that I'm really excited about. I also did some penabling. You'll be very proud of me. I did some penabling and yeah, had tons of fun and lots of sort of experiences that I kind of want to share. But I'll start off by saying I got to visit Wonder Pens, Paper Plus Cloth, and Take Note in Toronto. And if you don't know Wonder Pens and hi Pop Al Gal, how's it going, friend? Wonder Pens and Paper Plus Cloth are Travelers partner shops. So they are TN partner shops. And if you aren't aware, TN partner shops have their own specific stamp, just, designed for that shop and has something to do with that shop. So it's not just a generic stamp that all the partner shops have. So if you do visit any of these shops that are TN partners and you are into Travelers Company, not everyone is, but if you are, or if you like collecting stamps, then you should check out, the different shops and just ask them. Like sometimes they don't have these stamps sitting out. And, it's one of those if you know situations. You just have to ask them, hey, do you have your partner stamp? And then you get to stamp it on whatever, your journal or whatever. So Wonder Pens, really cool stamp because it features a streetcar in Toronto, the old school streetcar. Doesn't look like that anymore. It's very long and extended now, but it's very cool. And then this is the Paper Plus Cloth stamp. They're a new partner. So the last, few times I've gone to Wonder Pens to visit, I've just stamped their partner stamp. Just to add to my journal, I guess. But Paper Plus Cloth, I think in the last year or so, has become a partner of Traveler's Company. So it's kind of cool to, go around, collect these stamps. It's not like Japan or, elsewhere where you can get like all of the stamps. But, if you're able to go to those shops, it's just like an added, bonus to journaling and adding to your trip spreads and stuff like that. So that's been kind of fun. I've missed everyone. Yeah, Papa Gal, we've missed you. I've missed all of my friends here. Let's see, Tsuki, your week. Oh, yes. That's very, very hot. Toronto was very hot at 1.2. Not this hot, though. Stay cool, friend. Stay cool. I feel like skeleton dancing and trying to stay alive. Yeah. I did cut my hair. I totally forgot. I did. I do this every 2 years or so. Every couple of years, I cut my hair really short. And then I spend the next 2 years growing it out because I cannot with hair cutting and all the things. I just don't like people touching my hair all the time. But I do have a hairdresser in Toronto that I've been seeing for 20 years or so. When I used to live in Toronto, I went to her and she just knew my hair right away. And we obviously became friends and have a relationship in that way. We keep in contact, catching up and stuff like that. And so every time I'd visit my family and friends in Toronto, I always have to ask her if she's around because if she's working, so I can get a haircut from her. And so this time I got to see her. It was really fun. It was nice. Really enjoyed catching up and getting a haircut. So, yeah, it's one of those things. I don't know. Hairdressers, if you find one that like gets your hair, especially if you have like out of the norm type of like really thick hair that looks really thin or, is wavy but kind of curly and sort of straight, things like that, then you tend to stick to that one person. And so I'm like that. So if I can't get my hair cut by her, I don't want it cut. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I feel more comfortable in longer hair, but at the same time, I also accept change. And I know I have to put myself, in those positions where I can get used to different looks and different things. And so it's all good and it will grow fast. You'll see. It does make you want to touch my hair. That's so funny. Thank you. So the other things I got while stationery shopping was I was looking for another A7 MD notebook because I love the size. It just seems to work for like to-do lists and like taking notes and writing things down in the moment, and having something small that you can carry around. I just feel like I'm more likely to use it, to take it out and actually write in it. So the dot grid is something I've wanted for a little while, so I was able to pick that up. But at the same time, I also got these field notes, this pack, Birds and Trees of North America. I really like the Blue Jay one, which is like, Blue Jays are, seen all over the place. They're very common in Toronto Blue Jays. It's a baseball team. So But I like the size. The pocket size is great for the A6 Rotorfaden that I got recently. And I've been kind of playing around with the sizes of notebooks that I'm putting in here just to see what works, what I like, that kind of thing. And I've noticed that the pocket size is great because it's small, obviously. It's smaller than the A6, so it fits really nicely in the cover with lots of room to spare. But also I like that it's not a thick notebook, so I can just use it for, notes or something specific to put in here. And the other thing I've been playing around with is the Hobonichi A6 notebook. It's not too thick. Again, great for, taking notes or writing things down in the moment. Kind of using it for mind mapping, brainstorms, weekly task lists and stuff like that. It's kind of a great space for that. And then this is the Hobonichi A6 supplement notebook. And they're thin, so that works. And it's also slightly smaller than an A6 size because it's meant to sort of fit in with their A6 planner, which is great for this cover because then it doesn't sit right snug to it doesn't come right to the end of the cover itself, which you can see the A6 notebook does. And that might not bother you, it's just sometimes it sort of sticks out just a little bit and you kind of have to adjust, which is totally fine. But so far this cover is really has been really fun to play around with and just figure out what I like in here and how I can use it. So I've put the pocket field notes in here with a blue jay because it's so cute. The other thing I got, and I don't know if you're aware that Stalogy has an A6 Slim notebook size. I think I saw this in someone's YouTube video or something like that. And I was like, oh, there's an A6 Slim. I did not know that. So had to pick that up. And this I got from Take Note in the Junction or West End of the Toronto area. And while I was talking to them, they did mention that this goes really quickly. So apparently it's not like a common, I don't know if you can find it everywhere. You know what I mean? And so, when they do get it in stock, it's like it just flies. So I got this because, again, I think A6 Slim is a great size for an A6 cover when you don't want the notebook to sit right at the cutoff of the cover. And so you have a little bit of space with, just something that's a little bit slimmer. And so that's something I'm going to just play around with. This is the half year size. So it's not, the full 300 and however many. I think they add in a few extra pages to their full year. But I think the half year is a good size to try in this cover. So that's what I think this trip was more of like paper and notebook trip because I didn't pick up any fountain pens for me. I didn't pick up any ink. Mostly paper. And I think it was actually Tsuki that had mentioned Clairefontaine. And I've never tried their paper just because it's not super popular or common in the stores that I go to. And so Wonder Pens had this and I thought, okay, let me try it out. So it's lined, which is fine, especially for taking notes or writing letters or whatever. But more so just curious about the paper. And I thought it was interesting that the lines are actually like a purple color, like a lavender purple color. So I'm kind of excited to try out this paper because I know it's been around, but it's new to me. So kind of interested in doing that. And then last paper is this Usari loose paper from Nakabayashi. And again, I've heard a lot about this paper. I think people have sort of mentioned it as like a great, if you're not into really thin, like TRP paper or TRP or, something equivalent to that, you're more into bank paper or something a little thicker, sturdier, then Usari is a good sort of, not replacement, but, one of the ones that you might be into. And so, I got loose leaf paper to try it out. Did some testing while I was there just because So I just tried out the pens that I had on hand at the time. And yeah, I really like the paper. It is nice. It feels thicker. So, it's like, it does feel very sturdy. And I didn't look into the GSM of this, but it's definitely not like TRP. So if you're more into bank paper or, even Cosmo Air Light, but not as like spongy or shiny, this is actually a great, like it feels like nice paper. It handles pens really well in terms of, even ghosting. Like I don't see anything. So seems really, really nice. And the way it sort of reflects back inks and stuff like that, I'm happy with that. So I might end up cutting these papers down and putting them into my plotter. We'll see. But yeah, I kind of have fun playing around with that. So let's put this here. All right, and then, so that's that. Tried out Usari? Yeah. No, did not get Sailor at Heavy. Oh, it's Usari. This one? It's Nakabayashi Usari paper. I don't know if they do notebooks in this paper. I assume they do, but I didn't see any. And so that's why I ended up picking up the loose paper. And I thought, you know what? Loose paper is actually pretty versatile in the way I can just cut it down and add it to my plotters or something like that. Because I would assume this paper in a notebook wouldn't be a thin notebook, depending on how many pages you wanted in it. But so the other thing I got is I have one Pilot Friction. It's this blue one that I got at Wonder Pens last year or the year before, something like that. I thought it was really, really cute. And so, I got myself one and I got my kids one. So this time when I went, Paper Plus Cloth had these new, I assume. They're newer. They look like it. They're Friction, they're Pilot Friction Y, WAAI. And so they look slimmer and just more sleek. But the colors also are paler. They're more muted, gentle colors. So they're not like bright, like this one's a bright blue. And then this one is called Sand Beige. And it's like it is very much like a sandy color. I'll show you on this. So this is my Friction blue. And this is my Friction in Sand Beige. I thought it was really, really kind of nice because it's like a tan color. So if you're into browns or, something equivalent, this is just a muter, sort of lighter color. And yeah, it writes really nicely. Obviously, not obviously, but if you don't know, Friction is a sort of gel pen that you can erase using this, like, what is it, silicone, whatever end, or rubber, but it essentially uses friction to erase it. So that's why they're called that. But I thought this was a nice color, kind of a great, doesn't look too bright, doesn't attract a lot of attention. So I like that. The other thing I did was I enabled my brother-in-law into using fountain pens. So he's into typewriters. He does illustrations. He's an artist, really, really talented, draws and things like that. And he's always used like gel pens and like regular sort of markers and stuff. But since he's been into typewriters, he thought like fountain pens make sense, right? Adjacent. And so he asked me, bring some of my fountain pens and, to talk to him about Fountain Pen 101. And I was like, yes. So I ended up taking with me some just beginner friendly fountain pens, let him try them out. Talked about, the difference between like a Lamy versus a Pilot and et cetera, et cetera. The different ways that you can use filling systems or how they work, and the different ways you can play around with the inks. And so he sort of fell on this Sailor Fude de Manin fountain pen because this is very artist friendly. So, I always carry it around with me because it's great for writing with, in terms of like if you're writing a big header or you're sort of playing around with hand lettering or something like that. You can also take notes with it. But the reason why it's so great for drawing, sketching, hand lettering is that it has a Fude nib. And so you can see it's sort of upturned there. This one is a 55-degree angle, and so you get a broader line, especially, the lower you hold it to the paper, the lower the angle, the higher the angle, the thinner and finer the line is. So again, kind of playing around with that, and then talking through using cartridges, converters, etc. That was really fun for me and also for him because, he sort of decided that this was going to be something he wanted to try. And so I ended up going out and getting him one with ink cartridges, with a converter, just so he had everything to play around with. Left him with a notebook, a TRP notebook. And yeah, I was just really happy to talk about the different types of fountain pens that an artist could use. Because obviously he'll end up trying out fountain pens for writing. And actually the fountain pen that he really wanted for writing was the Kaweco Lilliput in copper. It is such a nice pocket fountain pen. And I think he really liked the idea of patina, and then over time the coloring changing and stuff. And so kind of left him with like thoughts on the next few things he can try out, and we'll see. So I was really happy about that. And then the last thing I wanted to share was this beautiful book bag. And this was made by my niece, who is so talented. She does crochet and she does all sorts of different things with crochet. And so she made me this book bag, which is so, so cool. I love like all the different colors. It just makes me really happy. And the designs and stuff like that. So super, super talented. And she has been teaching my daughter how to crochet. So if you want to check her out and just like see how great her stuff is, this is her Instagram, a rainbow creation. Let's see if I can, yeah, there we go. So that's her Instagram. And this is like all the things she does, crafts markets, and like special events and stuff like that. There's a local dog rescue that they help out with by fostering dogs, and also helping out with fundraisers and stuff. And she crochets, these special pets that you can adopt, especially if you're too young to actually have a real life pet. But hey, who wouldn't want to adopt a dragon, right? Like, yeah. She's also crocheted sweaters. So this was one that she had made for my sister. Really, really cool. And just, yeah, little purses and bags and stuff like that. All these cute creatures. And just, yeah, really, like, I am so in awe of her because crochet is not something I understand, nor am I really that interested in learning. But I'm so like, if anyone can do this, I am just in awe. I'm amazed at how cool, at how cool these things are. So I thought that was very cool. Yeah, very, very talented, right? Just awesome. Yeah, that would be fun to have one to protect your TN covers. I know initially she was like, well, you have notebooks, so you can put notebooks in here. And I was like, yes. But also, I think it's kind of cool to have something to cover your paperback books or whatever. And then she also added this feature where I can put these two strings through these holes, and then I can tie them closed. And I just thought, like, the extra thought and, like, imagination and stuff, just by putting something together that's functional, but also, like, just so cool and very cute. I was, yeah, in awe. I was just like, this is the coolest thing ever. So yeah, so that was my trip to Toronto, but I'm back and playing with stationery again, playing with paper for sure. So you have attempted a couple of times, but not your thing. Yeah, I'm more into needles. I'm more into embroidery. I have tried that and really enjoyed it. I just didn't make the time to continue doing it. But embroidery is something I think I would make time for again and try and get back into it. Just because, yeah, I don't know if I could do the hooks and crochet or knitting or something like that. But yeah, embroidery, I think I could do that. So, all right, let's move on to drawing. Because like I said, I won't be streaming for too long, because I just have so much I need to get done. But I always have to make time for art. So, some have their crocheting and some have their drawing and, other outlets for creativity. So whatever your thing is, lean into it, make time for it, and practice. Just do the thing. Yeah, it was really fun. It's always nice to see family and friends, and time always flies by. It doesn't matter how long you are there for. And yeah, so it's always really, really nice. It's always really nice to see my sisters, my dad, my brothers-in-law, and the kids. And so my kids get to hang out with their cousins and sort of continue that relationship, which is really important to me. So it's really, really nice all around. That's a fun notebook holder. Yeah. Oh, you got an A6 Lockbee. That's awesome. Not quite the same look. Yeah. But that's cool. So what I wanted to do today is I just found a photo on Pinterest, which is a great resource for if you're just looking for inspiration. A lot of times when I'm painting or drawing flowers and it's abstract, it's just out of my head, right? But it's based on flowers and, the shapes, the lines, etc. that I've practiced before. And the easiest way to sort of build up that library of shapes and outlines and just how something should look is to look at inspiration, look at real life, so that especially with flowers, nature, plays a huge role in what natural flowers actually look like. They're not perfect. And trying to capture that imperfection sometimes is like in your head, you're like, no, the flower has to like have all these perfect petals. And yet in nature, a lot of times we can't find that. So it's helpful to see things in their natural environment, the way that they actually look like. And then look up reference photos, like take photos of flowers or things that you have. and also, look up inspiration. So for me, it's looking up bouquets, it's looking up different types of flowers that I might want to draw that I might never see in person just because of where their home is, and where you're more likely to see them, and drawing them from those photos or those references is really helpful for me, because it does, like I said, it adds to my library of shapes that I can pull from the next time I just want to draw, I just want to paint, or I just want to do something creative, and I have my stationery supplies, and yeah, I just put pen to paper or pencil to paper or something. So just wanted to do this bouquet really quickly with pencil crayons or colored pencils. And the ones I like to use are Tombow Irojiten colored pencil. These are from what's called a library of Irojiten sets. And so you can, depending on the types of colors you use, if you're into colored pencils, you can sort of pick out these collections or sets of colored pencils. I put them all together into one container because I like to see things. I'm a very visual person, and so I like to kind of pull out colors from that based on what I see in the photo or what I'm sort of trying to capture. But a lot of times, if you're using markers or pencils or whatever, you might not have the exact colors available to you. And I don't know, I feel like sometimes people get stuck on that. Like if you're drawing from a reference photo, unless it's a commissioned work or your, it's a photo of flowers that mean something sentimental to you, and so you want to capture as close to what it looked like in the photo. If you're just doing it for fun or for practice or just for the sake of creating art, give yourself permission to, one, use whatever colors you want, whatever medium you want, and then don't get hung up on it looking exactly the same as what you see in the photo. And I know it can sound frustrating, especially when you put that kind of boundary or challenge on yourself. But let me tell you that it does not matter. It doesn't matter if you use the same colors or they look exactly the same, or it looks, what you actually end up drawing looks very close to what you see in the photo. It does not matter. So, the many times that I've done something and someone sort of comments on like, wow, that looks exactly like the photo. It's like, we also have to be okay with the opposite, that it doesn't look anything like the photo. And that's okay, because it's your art. Like, you are representing what you want from what you see. And if it's nothing like what you see, then you know what? That's okay. And it's fine. And that's my rant for today. So if you were one of those people that just get sort of like, you look at an inspiration or a reference photo and you get overwhelmed by the fact that you probably think you can't do it, just start and try and capture what you see, but in a way that's true to your creativity, right? Like, not everyone is going to draw and paint and color the same way as someone else. And that's okay. And that's called style. And you're allowed to have your own style. You're allowed to make it look more abstract. You're allowed to make it look more whimsical. But you're also allowed to make it very technical and exactly what you see. And maybe you want to spend 20 hours doing that. And that's okay. And you have reasons for that. And that's totally fine. But don't let this stop you from just picking up your stationery supplies and just doing the art, because you feel like, if it doesn't look the same, or if it doesn't look like what you're seeing, then, you failed in some way, which I just don't think that's realistic. Especially if you share on Instagram or social media. Sometimes there's this sort of pressure to be like, well, I want everyone to like it, and I want everyone to, you know, see that I can draw this very close to a reference photo, or, you know, I can make it look exactly like this. And I just don't think that's necessary. I've had people ask what colors I specifically use for certain projects, and I have to be honest, sometimes I just don't remember. And so, you know, in cases where I use fountain pen inks, I do like to swatch the ink. And I think that's fun because if you do like a certain color, then you can use that color again, right? And you can also, you'll also sort of realize why you like that color. Like, is there something about a specific color that draws you in? And that's kind of interesting. But when it comes to like markers or, you know, pencils and things like that, it's really hard to recreate certain colors, especially if you're blending and kind of just having fun with different colors. You know, you're mixing and matching and things. And not everything will look the same if you try and recreate it too in that way. So just kind of depends on the medium that you're using. Oh, and watercolor paints as well, because I like to just mix and match. I like to mix colors. I like to blend them. I like to sort of see them blend into each other too. So sometimes it's hard to figure out exactly what colors are being used and in what way. So something to keep in mind if you are using mediums that you can do a lot of mixing with. It is sometimes hard to recreate something, or, you know, even if you sort of see someone else doing or using certain supplies and you really like the art that they created with it, it's not always easy for them to, you know, kind of go back and let you know exactly which colors were used. So have fun with the colors. Of course we want to know secret fountain pen use. Of course we want to know. And how's your hand doing? All right, so I don't have this exact color that I'm looking at here in pencil crayons. So that's kind of what I mean about, like, if you don't have these colors, don't let that stop you from trying to capture or draw from a reference. Just use the colors you have and mimic the brightness if you can. So if it's a bright color and you love that sort of bright vibrancy, then see what colors you have that mimic the vibrancy or the level of color that you're looking at, that you really enjoy. So I love how bright and fun and summery this flower looks. And so I'm just gonna add a layer of this neon pink color that I have. There's neon orange here as well. I'm getting a couple of little buddies to be pen holders or models for me. That's so funny. Oh, they're so cute. That is so cute. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so precious. I love it. So good. So adorable, right? So adorable. Doctor said my progress seems like I'm 3 to 4 months in. You're actually 6 weeks. Wow, that is amazing. That progress is awesome. I'm so happy about that. Yeah, well, hopefully it continues on that trajectory and just, you'll knock it out of the park and you'll be good and you can enjoy your pens again soon-ish. Yeah, it's awesome. Great news. Yeah, you need a cat version, right? Frogs are so cute, though. I love that. Frogs are adorable. Like when they wear little clothes and stuff, like little robes or dresses or whatever. Very cute. All right. Okay, now I'm just gonna add some details on top. So again, just looking at this for reference, and adding some of the details that I see, like for example, this is just yellow. It's just a yellow circle. And so what I want to do is I want to add some of these lines and circles and other things, shapes and stuff to sort of make it stand out a little bit more and make it look a little bit more realistic. And I'm using a Tombow Mono Drawing Pen 005 because I like the very thin lines you can get with this. And it doesn't take away from the colors and all the other sort of line work that I already have in this piece. I just want to add a little bit more detail so that it kind of looks more like petals, and we can kind of see how they sort of curl in and stuff like that, and separate out the petals a little bit too. And again, it's not necessary, but it just adds a lot more practice, and just gives you a little bit more time to try out those lines and get those lines. That helps with practice. So now parts of this photo is blurry or out of focus, which is fine because, again, I think especially when you're just practicing, a lot of times you can kind of fill in what you can't see exactly. So if you can't see the details of something, just kind of work with what you have and then fill in what you think it might look like. And that's kind of the fun part of it too. It's just kind of trusting your instinct on what you think it probably looks like. Or the other thing is you don't have to add details to that. Just leave it with the whatever you sort of used underneath. So if you use marker, then just leave it with that color. If you used paint, just leave it like that. Same with pencil crayons. You don't have to add a pen line on top if you're not sure what the lines look like. You can just kind of leave it, and then it would sort of look similar to something that's sort of out of focus or in the background. You don't want a lot of attention on it. That's totally fine too. So, or you can just add, general lines just where you think it would sort of break up into little blooms, or little buds. And then what you can see and control, you can sort of focus more on that. Again, depending on how much time you have and how much effort you want to put into it too. So that's that. It looks pretty good. I like those colors as well. They're very nice colors. Maybe not as bright as the photo, but still sort of mimicking the spring, summer, you got the orange, you got the pink, got some lavender, purple vibes in there too. But yeah, I love this sort of big, bold flower in the front. That's the center of focus. That's the main flower that we want to sort of focus on. Add a little bit more color. Just to cover the white a little bit. Really fun. Red. What I like about these color pencils too is that you can layer them and they still have a soft look to them. So it's not super intense or too much in any way. You can keep playing around with layering colors just to get like that kind of feel that you're looking for. That's not always easy to do with paints or markers, but pencils kind of. So I think I like that. It's a little bit of a darker, brighter look to it now. And this is MD cotton paper. So I've said this before too, cotton paper is really great for graphite pencils, pencil crayons, things like that. Just because it has a very slight texture to it. It's not super, it is noticeable, but not in a way that it's like catching or anything like that. But it does sort of have this fiber feel to it, while being soft. So it is a very soft paper, but I love the feel of pencils on this paper, just because you get that feedback when you're using this paper. So great for fountain pens, great for inks and things like that. But if you do like to sort of, if you're into mixed media or using different sort of supplies, cotton paper is definitely a great type of paper to try, for sure. One of my favorite types of paper, from MD, from Midori. So yeah, not bad. Thank you, Papa Gal. It looks pretty good. I did try painting with inks previously, and that's nice too. So normally, I've sort of stuck to pencils and pencil crayons on here, but I tried a little bit of painting on here as well. Still turned out fine. And yeah, so really, really fun, really, really great to use. Nice paper for the types of supplies that you're using on them, and great with fine liners as well, right? So even if you're using a really, really thin needlepoint type of fine liner, it's still okay on this paper. It's soft enough, it's smooth enough that it's not going to cause any issues or catch on the paper or something like that. So yeah, the colors with the paint look great too. Yeah. And I used a fountain pen, a Kaweco Sport, to add the details on here. So even, drawing with a fountain pen on this paper, totally fine. Works great. Not a big deal, not a problem. So, but I think that's it for me, friends. Short stream, like I said, time flies. Glad I was able to get this done though. And glad we could catch up and just kind of chat through, different things. Thanks for sharing what you're up to as well. It's been really nice getting back to my routine to some extent. Like I said, it will change for the summer. It's just inevitable. Um, so I will not be streaming on Wednesday because it is the kids' last day of school. Got to get them early. um, but so next week it may be a Monday or a Wednesday. I just have to kind of figure it out. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, then and you want to know when I'm streaming, do, because that's where I post updates on when my next streams will be and stuff. So you can find me from Corolla on all socials, basically. If you miss the stream, or you miss the beginning or whatever, or you kind of want to look through it again and watch it again, then you can catch the VODs on Twitch. You can also catch the replays on YouTube. I know some people prefer YouTube, so it will be on there as well, and they last forever on there, so unlike Twitch. So you can catch that on there. But yeah, you'll see me on other streams, and we can catch up that way as well. And yeah, the next couple of months will be sort of like touch and go. It'll just be based on what I'm doing with my kids and stuff like that. So, but I will stream. I will be around, and I'll try to at least stream once a week if I can, twice if I'm lucky. You're in World Cup mode, Papa Gal. I know. I don't know a lot of people personally that are. But I am too. I grew up watching football or soccer. And so, it's really, really fun to see Canada be a co-host for the matches. And being in Toronto was really awesome because if you don't know, Toronto has this sort of old school neighborhood vibe. And so, wherever you are in the city, you can sort of find yourself and stumble into, a little neighborhood, a little Portugal, little Italy. And so everyone in that area roots for, and also, they bring food, vibes, all those things that sort of, make Toronto so diverse and really awesome. And so the vibe around the World Cup was awesome. It was really great to be there, see flags flying everywhere, and just everyone, coming in with just kindness, but also in the spirit of competition and in the spirit of whatever country they were supporting alongside Canada. So it was really, really cool. And Vancouver is also hosting some matches. We went downtown yesterday and just, checked out where they're commentating from, where the games are being held. And everywhere around there, it's just super, super, super cool to see the different colors, the different flags, the different shirts, jerseys, stuff like that. It was really, really fun. So I am super excited for, the next few weeks of just, watching a sport that I grew up watching, and being a part of it is really, really fun too. So yeah, it was awesome, Pal Pal Gal. Toronto it's a huge city, right? It's so much bigger than Vancouver, and it feels like that. Like it's just, everywhere you go, everyone's sort of in that spirit of sport, competition, in good fun. Like it is competitive, right? And obviously people get very passionate about it. But in the way that, we all have respect for each other, we're all sort of in the same space together, and allowing for all of us to have, whatever kind of fun we want to, in support of the teams that we're rooting for is super cool. So yeah, it's been awesome. Obviously rooting for Canada, also rooting for New Zealand because my husband is a Kiwi, rooting for Germany because I spent a lot of my childhood there, and so I can't shake that off me. And yeah, Australia doing really well. There are teams that have surprised me in the way that they're playing really awesome, really awesome games to watch. Even if you don't know a lot about, soccer or rules and what's happening even, it's kind of fun to, watch it all go down. Um, and yeah, so your daughter is singing at a choir festival this week, so I'm driving and supporting. That's awesome. And taking photos, of course. Yeah. That's so cool. Moon Sprite, you reached a 5 stream streak. That's awesome. Speaking of stream streaks, I broke all of my streaks while being on vacation, so I was a little sad about that, but also, it's not a big deal. But yeah, so I'll be starting over on other streams with my streak, but it's great when, you can sort of work up to a certain milestone in streaks. I just think it's really fun. You're rooting for Cabo Verde. They're awesome, right? That goalie. That is so cool. Yeah, some of those players, this is their time to shine, and some of them are shining brightly. Some of them are just like literally knocking it out of the park. You know what I mean? So, I kind of want to make a road trip to Sofia just to see the tartan army. Yes, so cool. I love how the Scots took over Boston. I loved seeing that. So, so cool. I also think it's kind of refreshing in the time that we are in with a lot of sort of divisive things that are happening and being said. I think it's really refreshing to have international groups and teams and fans travel to all these different places, all these cities that are co-hosting the World Cup, and sort of taking over that city. It's like, it is nice to see fans of a sport having fun, doing it in a way that's not like you're not trashing the city. Like, let's not come in and just create problems, but come in and have fun. Come in and like show us your vibe, right? Like, super, super cool to see. And yeah, videos and photos of just like when the parades are happening, or, a fan group is sort of marching to the stadiums. It has been really cool. And I imagine, if you are in that crowd, it would be super, super fun. But yeah. Sadly, the 6-hour drive is just too much. Yeah, I mean, it is, right? Like, if you can do it, that's cool. If you can't, I mean, we're watching this happen in social media, on TV. I think being able to just kind of see the different videos and see how people are celebrating and, having fun it's like you can feel that energy, right? Like it's almost like you're there, you're not, but it's hard to not be able to feel that vibe and that energy. And kind of just like root for whatever team, root for whoever you kind of vibe with, or you feel like they're trying so hard that you just want them to win or even get a goal, or and for some of those teams, it is the opportunity of a lifetime to be part of an international competition. And so, like, good for them. Good for them for showing up, for doing their best. Like, and none of those teams have played in a way that you're kind of like, you shouldn't be here or whatever, right? Like, every team that I've seen play, I can see they are playing with like all that they have. And it's really, really cool and awesome to see. So I wish we could keep this fun vibe after the World Cup is over, right? Same, for sure. Oh, I totally agree. Yeah, you want to see the Tartan Army and the Netherlands fans together? Hilarious. Yeah, some of those fans are just... They are so fun. They're a lot. The Algerian team and fans have brought so much life to my city. I saw that, Papa Gal. That's amazing. I didn't know that there was a connection there. And seeing how, the locals were so supportive and welcoming to the Algerian team. I totally felt that. Like, that was so, so cool to see. Yeah, you technically can. I mean, look, if you want to, but at the same time, it's like, if it's a lot, then yeah. Yeah, you lost your job, right? Like, I mean, this is the time. This is the time. So maybe it's a way to sort of help you reset as well, right? Is that you can connect and sort of plug into something that's happening at this time, that has a lot of positivity around it, because I feel like we kind of needed this in the international community, for us all to come together. And, I say that generally, not everyone is into it, and that is totally fine if you're not into it. But generally speaking, it's a nice way of bringing international communities together and showing that there can be a goal that's not, each group for themselves, and take each other down and stuff like that. All the negativity that has sort of been circulating a little bit. And it's kind of refreshing and nice to take a step back and just be like, this is what it should be like. Like, we should all have space for each other and make space for each other. And cheer and scream at the TV. At like, yeah, it's a common goal depending on what team you're cheering for. It only comes around 4 years. Euro Cup is, and then you have 2 years and then the Euro Cup. So, there's always something that you can look forward to, but 4 years is a long time for the World Cup. Yeah, if you're not into the sport, the community has been amazing to witness. And it's been a boost for cities that normally may not get that kind of attention. I mean, these are big cities we're talking about, but in terms of like international tourists and just, even if you're local and you're rooting for a certain country or a team, like, this is your time to show that support, where like maybe not in your regular everyday that you would do that. It's just, this is the time where we all sort of come together and show support for teams and for countries and for groups and other fans you can unite with, and you have something in common at this time. That's something that you can lean into. So that's been really nice to see. Yeah, it's timing is everything in terms of when things happen that align with other things. Yeah, 2 years in the Women's World Cup. The Women's World Cup, it is awesome. The last one was held in Australia and New Zealand, and obviously, my husband's family's from there, and it was so cool to see them get into the game, and it really boosted their their tourism and just people like knowing more about their countries. So that was really fun to watch as well. Yeah. 1 year. Next year is Women's World Cup. So, you know what, Nobot? This is where we plug into all the things. Every year, something cool is happening. Something to cheer for. And you know what? The other thing, too, is I feel like this time of year, depending on where you live, of course, but for us here, it's like you can be outdoors. It's not winter. You're not hibernating and, watching competition on TV. This is like the time we're outside and like we can sort of experience things while being around others in the sun, in cool and nice temperatures. So I think that helps as well, is that you're not watching winter sport or something like that where you're kind of indoors. But that's just speaking for myself. Yeah, Women's World Cup is amazing. They are so good. You're a footy fan. That's awesome. Yeah. No, no one wants to be outside this time of year. Depends where you are. If you're by water, maybe. And if it's not too hot or too extreme, but give it another month. July, August is pretty hot here, but armpit season in Florida, oh no. The only reason is to go to the swimming pool. Yeah, just sit in water the whole time. Sipping a cold drink. Have ice ready always. Same for you too, Papa Gal. Yeah. Just always have your cold water at hand, and stay cool. But anyways, friends, I will see you next time, whenever that is, and I'll see you around on the other streams. If you are a footy, if you are into World Cup, I hope that your teams do really well, but not better than my teams. No, I hope everyone does well and has fun and cheers and, support who you want to support. And hopefully your teams, go as far as they possibly can. And, more importantly is just, I hope they represent their country to the extent that they want to and can, and show off their skills, because they are all skilled. So small country, big country, whatever. They're all good. So hopefully they do as best as they can. Have an amazing week. I'll see you next time. Take care, friends. I appreciate you so much for being here, for being back and coming back to my stream. And remember, go play with your stationery. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others always. And I'll see you next time, okay? Bye, friends.